Okay, everyone. Sorry about. Oh my god, I'm doing that again. Sorry about that. My computer just decided to untimely freeze up, and that was very unfortunate. Don't know why it would do that, but it did. It happened. It appears the tournament is still going on, so. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully, we hadn't missed much. Regardless of if we did or have not, I will be going from the start to the finish so you guys can get the full viewing of what happened.
Hello there, Jacob.
Sorry about that. It's
Is
Windows
okay.
happens. Yeah.
I just closed down the stream on mine. Switch back to LP. I just closed down the stream on mine, so we're gonna miss a little bit of the game.
If nothing else, we'll just go from the start to the finish. I'd rather the viewers see the entire game than just a small portion or even a missed portion. And for the sake of validity, I will be recording this for the YouTube channel as well, so I'd rather have the full viewing.
Okay, I need you to help me set up the realm for game capture casting later also.
Okay. Interesting. I think you might have tried. I wish we could have talked about this, but Ashe rolling clairvoyance.
Yeah, I was waiting.
I don't know what to say. It's not necessarily a typical, a bad thought, considering you do use it and then immediately you get vision, so you can try to ult. But immediate vision for an ult that is, that has a very long animation to reach the point may not always be good, but it could be good for reaching bushes. And I have had a lot of experience using it in the past seasons, where you could use it to set up a Thresh hook, just auto attack them when they run into a bush, and it can be a useful spell. But sacrificing a summoner spell heal for that is very questionable. And
it is a mid lane Ashe actually.
That's interesting.
I will go back to the game and wait for you to get loaded in. And
so
we can do.
Okay, the section that alright, this is the soonest I can get is 1 minute. However, that's good enough considering we did not see apparently any deaths. And
Okay, so on the count of 3, press play.
wait a minute, just one moment. I'm gonna update the stream panels too as well.
Okay.
There, quickly, just want that updated so we don't have Hydra Dong and Pokemon Taters up there still.
Okay, I hope that everybody has gotten back into this stream. Hopefully they are. Yes, everybody is back into the League People stream. I
Okay,
posted
everyone.
the Stropple once again into the chat. So are you at 1 minute?
Yes.
Okay, on the count of 3, I suggest we press play.
Yep.
1, 2, and 3. There we go. And so we see very standard jungle and lane setup, duo bot lane. Both players just seem to be rather, preferring to defend their first buff over trying an invade or anything tricky. We did see Clairvoyance go down on the area of Wukong and Corki, so they will have vision on what they bought first and where the jungler is starting.
So, Ashe versus Lissandra mid lane. It's been a long time since I've ever seen anyone play Ashe mid. There was a point when it was considered a very viable strategy in Season 1, actually, because of the fact that she could easily just use her ult when it was a lot stronger in the previous seasons to easily secure kills. But towards the end of Season 1, we saw a huge nerf to it, and she pretty much fell off the face of the earth. But with this rework, she might have more prevalent laning phase against even AP casters. We'll have to see how well practiced he is with this and how this is going to fare.
Yes, it will be very dependent on the skill level of the player, I think. But, this is a very decently high-level tournament for most of the players in it. So, I think that it's going to be a big skill matchup depending on who wins this lane.
Might be seeing a DC top lane. Mordekaiser being unresponsive right now, just sitting and taking some damage from the auto attacks from Cho'Gath there. Actually responding, now he's left the game. And he left the game and now he's walking forward, so I guess it was an instant reconnect potentially. Nope, it's just not letting him walk back. We're seeing Wukong getting very low in the jungle, but nothing happened there.
He actually was spotted out by the Ashe Hawk shot when he started those wolves. So they do know that he has not gotten to his red yet, but it does not look as though they will try and capitalize on anything in particular with that knowledge, as Gragas just moves on to finish his blue buff. You do see the blue side bottom lane getting pushed under tower by this Braum and Corki duo.
Yeah, Mordekaiser's still seeing connection problems apparently up top lane, and playing very passive and safe, just waiting at his tower, allowing the Cho'Gath to free farm at the moment with 13 farm to his 2.
Does not want to waste
an
his
encounter
team's
in the
time.
red team's jungle. Gragas counter jungling onto the Wukong. They both have their double buffs right now. Body slam going down, and Lissandra is going to come and try to interfere, but Ashe is following up very timely as well, as we see Cho'Gath roaming from the top lane and just deciding to back out and return to lane now.
Gragas will clear out the enemy red buff, getting the timer on that, and denying the timer to Wukong as he moves on to take his Krugs. They are heavily targeting, even in the ban phase, onto Chaos Rain.
Seeing top lane, Mordekaiser getting hit with some CC there from Cho'Gath. Very nicely done with the Rupture, but not going to be enough to kill him. Gragas waiting nearby, but they're both going to decide to recall. Not going to tower dive and take the risk.
I am gonna spend a quick second sorting out my scoreboard, try and get that fixed, and there we go.
Mordekaiser returning to the lane with 5 biscuits of rejuvenation right now. Good hook going down from Thresh, very close to hitting the Braum, but actually goes through and sneaks onto the Corki, but nothing going to happen from it. Ezreal doesn't get any skill shots as Braum jumps forward with his shield up.
You know, I feel that in this case, Corki might not have been as strong of a pick after that Ezreal came out, but it was already locked in by the time it did. It could cost them a lot considering the 2 playstyles of these carries.
Perhaps. They're both very similar in motion for me, at least. They have, you know, an escapability, or an ability they can use to aggress. For Corki, it's much less wise for him to use it to aggress because the cooldown of it and the mana cost as well, where Ezreal can lower it because of his passive. But both very aggressive, a lot of spamming abilities, and a lot of long-ranged harassment as well, at least when Corki hits level 6. Seeing Braum trying to go in onto the Ezreal. Ezreal actually, Essence flexing back in with 3 stacks of the Braum passive. A very unwise decision, getting taken down 3/4 of his health. The hook going down from Thresh onto Rudy J2012, but he's going to use his Valkyrie to get away.
Very close fights in the bot lane already, as we see Gragas just holding the mid lane steady for Ashe as she has gone back to base, buying a Tear of the Goddess actually, which was not what I expected to come out as a first item here. I wonder if she will build it into Archangel Staff or Muramana.
Well, if you saw an AP Ashe, that would be very surprising to say the very least, but that would be good. That would be something very unconventional, which you usually only see that sort of stuff in these sort of tournaments. You would never see that in LCS, so blue team actually trying to start onto the dragon right now. Teleport going down from Cho'Gath to make the 5-man. They're actually sitting near the scuttle. The vision will be on them, so the red team knows they're getting it, but they can't do anything to interfere.
We'll not get the exact timer, but red team should have an approximation. But that is the first dragon going over to your dad. Your dad's a very good League of Legends player. Your dad's a very nice man. These puns will be coming at you every time I get the chance, by the way.
Corki returning to bot lane at the moment with that Sheen for the early game damage. That's going to benefit him very greatly going against that Ezreal, who actually decided to opt for the Tear of the Goddess. Tear of the Goddess, not a terrible thing for Ezreal's to build up, but it does sacrifice a lot of early game strength that he could have potentially had from picking up the Sheen as well. So we're going to hopefully, more than likely, be seeing this bot lane from Chaos Explosion of Fritos surely dominating them in the future, but we'll have to see. There is a lot of potential for plays to be made between the Thresh and the Braum. Gragas asking for assistance to the enemies, the red team's blue buff, but it's not there. He's actually going to be walking right onto a pink ward right now. As Thresh hook goes down, we see Gragas getting completely free distance onto him. Body slam going onto Corki, ignoring the Braum moves directly in front of them. Ashe actually rotating from the mid lane and getting the arrow onto Braum, but he's got to flash forward, dodging the crap, I can't remember. Well, now it's a different spell. The volley. Excuse me, stumbling on my words. Very nice save. That was an incredible flash, barely getting out of there alive. Very lucky as well. Close play, no deaths whatsoever. A very unlikely turn of events. If Gragas had been level 6 there when he was ganking, that would have easily been into blue team's favor.
Sorry about that. Had to go look and check out something real quick in my house. So what happened while I was gone?
We just saw a bot lane gank from Gragas, level 5, rolling in. He had free reigns to get through there, even though he walked over a pink ward. Red team just wasn't paying attention, and it just, yeah, we saw Braum actually flashing forward as Ashe even rotated and wasted her arrow onto him, but we did not see the kill go down, even though he lived with roughly 100 health, maybe even less.
We will see the blue buff going over to Ashe. Yes, and then the Gragas and Ashe moving into the Wukong jungle. Probably looking for a steal or a kill if they can manage it.
He is at the Krugs. They do realize that there's a ward there. He has a ward, so he obviously can tell that they are there as well. Cho'Gath roaming in as well. They want this buff secured. They're easily going to be able to take it at this rate as well. Wukong just recalling as Mordekaiser is trying to roam over just for potential support, but getting pinged back as Chaos Reign 77 knows that that is a bad idea.
This will be another buff denied from Chaos Reign. A lot of focus seems to be going down onto him to try and keep him as far out of this game as possible.
Some ruptures going down once again on the Mordekaiser top lane. He's definitely not having a very fun lane, but if you do look at the items, he has only backed once, but he didn't even have the gold to buy anything at that point. Cho'Gath sitting on the Null Magic Mantle and Ruby Crystal with that Doran's Ring as well, and just so much sustain between the two of them, but there is no sustain at the moment with Mordekaiser, even though he is a common person to build a spell, a Hextech Revolver for that spell vamp. Cho'Gath, level 6 right now. We're probably going to see a feast, but Mordekaiser is sensing that as well. He flashes forward into the tower, getting away.
As we look
see
at
the
the
Ashe arrow
scoreboard,
going down to the minimap here. Missing Corki, but it was an attempt. It's always worth a shot.
look at the scoreboard. Basically, everything is even across the board, across the entire rift right now. Aside from in the top lane, where there is a 32 CS advantage to Cho'Gath. Aside from that, everything seems fairly close, with Corki leading Ezreal by 30-40 farm.
Yeah.
So there is an advantage to both sides.
Yeah, the Tear of the Goddess on Ezreal, he can still farm reasonably well without it. We see Gragas here trying to jump this bottom lane. Braum on the fence here, going against him and knocking him up with his ultimate. Nothing going to happen, but Braum's ultimate did have to get used to stop the Gragas body slam from connecting to Corki. But the Tear of the Goddess on Ezreal, not a bad item as said previously, but it does make it a lot harder for him to see us, as he's only going to get mana from auto-attacking. We see top lane, Wukong jumping onto the Cho'Gath, popping his ultimate, but the Mordekaiser's not responding at all. He's just sitting at the tower. We might be seeing some connection issues still at the moment, as he's still just not responding at all. And Chaos Rain sitting here to protect him.
What a champ, taking these connection issues, no problem, not forcing a pause or anything. He's willing to sit here and suffer for the duration of the game.
Gragas trying to jump on the bottom, this mid lane here. Ashe arrow perfectly executed, hitting Frito's 121 as Gragas tried body slamming forward as she used her Winter's Claw to go forward as well. Flash going down from Lissandra, and then we see Gragas flashing for the body slam and First Blood.
First Blood will go to the blue team just as the second dragon comes live, and we will most likely see them going directly for it. Yes, we will. This is a second dragon to the blue team, bringing that to not only a kill, but a 2-dragon advantage.
No
team already
looking
looking very powerful.
Team. Easily theirs, no contest. The bottom lane seems like they are rotating up because they are pretty aware of that happening, but not going to happen. Chaos Rain running into his own jungle. 4 members of the enemy team sitting here. He's going to get hooked by the Thresh as Corki and Braum are sitting here on the side, but he's dropping health drastically right now. Decides to charge in onto Thresh, instead flashing out. He gets hit with the barrel from Gragas, and we see Corki and Braum flashing away, and the Summoner Spell heal going down as well. Corki getting very low from that volley from Ashe, but not quite going to be enough.
Really, you can see the advantages coming out from blue team here as they pull off not only a kill, but dragon, and then trade a 1-for-1 and blue buff. Very slow, and it's very small, but you do see a lead slowly opening for the blue team.
As much as we do see a lead, I think one of the bigger factors here is just the fact that Red Team is able to keep up in the gold income on their own side right now. The gold leads aren't very massive. Most of it's actually probably coming from that Corki and his farm at the moment, because the kills, it's only 1 kill difference. This isn't really going to be much, but the bigger factor is the gold, the effective gold coming from the 2 dragon buffs right now on blue team, and whether or not they can make any use out of the tower destruction and the increased damage.
Corki does actually have a 600 gold lead against the Ezreal right now, which is not a lot when you consider that he is 2 dragons behind, and Ezreal did back earlier with less attack damage.
We're seeing Wukong here in the mid lane going in onto the Ashe, popping his ultimate, but he's going to get an arrow to the face, but the damage between Lissandra and himself are going to be enough to get the kill. Another Rupture going down on top lane. He does have Feast. He might go for this kill, but it'd be a little sad to see because he knows he has the connectivity issues right now. Flash not available for Cho'Gath, so we'll have to walk out.
Could we possibly see the BM coming down from blue team, killing the AFK player?
We are seeing Cho'Gath getting closed in on by Wukong and Lissandra, rotating to the top lane right now. But Gragas is waiting for them. He realized that they were going. There was vision on them. We see Mordekaiser finally coming as well, popping his ultimate onto Cho'Gath. He's very healthy with that Spectre's Cowl. So we see them turn onto the Wukong, and he's going to feast him for the first kill. Lissandra getting very low from the Gragas, and the final kill from the auto attack actually, and red buff combined getting the kill. Mordekaiser flashing under his own tower and barely getting away. That was a 3v2. And the Cho'Gath and Gragas tank compositions showing their strength at the moment.
Very slow game in the early minutes, aside from these few moments that we're seeing, but overall it is still anyone's game, with actually a 200 gold lead going over to blue team only.
One thing I want to kind of target specifically through this game is the first purchase from Lissandra. AraeZz is not a very strong pick for her in my opinion. That's just not synergetic. We see Wukong jumping on the top lane, getting this overextended Cho'Gath who just took down the tower, knowing he had to extend to commit to take that down. And some simple harassment down bot lane. Very good kill from the Wukong, running up and knowing that was a free kill if he did choose to go for it. But the Rod of Ages on Lissandra, not an incredibly strong pick, but maybe just wanting that health. But usually you'll see more assassin-based builds from them going for Luden's Echo, just any strong AP item, the Death Cap, you know, all the typical large rod items. So we'll have to see if he can make use of that. At the moment he's 0-2, so maybe he's just realizing that he's lost his lane and he's going to continue to lose and just wants to pick up the health.
We will actually see that Tear of the Goddess Ashe picked up being transferred into a Muramana and eventually a Manamoon. Manamoon? Man, I don't know.
Mid lane, we're seeing Chaos once again going onto the Ashe. The arrow does hit him once again in the face, but she should be starting to realize that it's not going to do anything against two members who have CC. Gragas clearing out the pink ward, but he is a massive threat right now. Chaos Rain is out of mana and very low on health. He needs to be afraid of this and respect it. He does actually sidestep forward and crossing it, dodging the ultimate, going down from Gragas. There's 4 members of the enemy team right here, and they're trying their best to get their Wukong to safety as the shutdown goal does go to Lissandra.
Very, very tanky Gragas already in the early minutes of this game with a Cinder Hulk and Warmog's bot. Looks like he wants to have that health early into this game so that these early team fights will be difficult for the enemy team.
Very much so. We're also seeing the Rod of Ages, very classic build for Cho'Gath top lane, picking that up finally as well as he's just shoving this top lane for free farm. The farming actually not as bad as it could be. Mordekaiser, of course, is down on farm, but due to the connectivity issues with that in mind, I mean, being down 32 farm at the moment isn't that bad. Ezreal just built his Muramana as well, so we'll see their builds are almost mimicking each other at the moment, but we're definitely going to be seeing a blue build Ezreal. We'll have to see if that's going to be a blue build Ashe, which would be very interesting. And
we will see the blue team going on to Dragon yet again, picking up the 3rd one of the game unless it is stolen. But it looks like there will be a slight contest. In the end, however, it does go over.
Going down from Cho'Gath top lane. Gragas does get the dragon as we see him body slamming onto 2 members there. Chaos Rain popping his ultimate, getting Gragas very low and also taking out the... not taking out anyone else, taking out the Thresh. Flashing over the wall with very low health, getting a free kill onto the Ashe. He's using his Rapid Hydra to a great advantage right now, getting all that lifesteal. We're seeing Corki getting the shot onto Ezreal as he tries to Essence Flux away, and the final kill for Cho'Gath is still up for grabs, but it looks like he will be getting away.
Very, very one-sided fight there with blue team, your dad walking away with the dragon, but losing 4 members. 4 members?
4 members, yes.
4 members in the process. Thresh was already up, so I was confused on whether the respawn timers.
And we are seeing mid lane pushed. We are seeing the red team push down the mid lane right now. Looks like they're going to get this tower, but Gragas is here to try to annoy them, get in their way, bide some time potentially for his team, which all did just rush out of their base. Red team getting the tower and rushing out, but Braum trying to get some vision might be his death. He's getting here. Nice flash, getting away from the Thresh hook, but he is going to get body slammed and slowed with the barrel from Gragas. Going for a last-ditch effort, popping his ultimate. Not a very wise decision. We may see him jumping to his ally Corki. No, Corki decided to turn around. They gave up when he still could have had potential to live there, in my opinion.
Actually, I think that he was in range for the Corki jump. I think what happened there is he did not realize it and did not see Corki as he was so focused on getting away from that fight.
Potentially, and I feel like he may as well. He may also have mistakenly used his W on himself to live that long in the first place. So, unfortunate, but very close escape. A little greedy, trying to ward into the enemy jungle there.
He did get a very deep ward down, though, right at the end.
Corki already 2-0-4 and has his Trinity Force finished. He actually is going with the Sork boots for, which is pretty common. We see it in LCS pretty much any time we see Corki nowadays for the long range harassment. We see Wukong now jumping top lane. going on to Cho'Gath. He's very tanky with another Spectre's Cowl, with the Spectre's Cowl and the Rod of Aegis. Chaos Rain running back, dodging the Rupture, seeing it going to happen, and the ult from Mordekaiser going to go down.
Despite them trying to stop this Wukong and stop Chaos,
Lissandra rotating to the bot lane. Ezreal going to get away, but the ultimate is going down onto Thresh. One more auto attack, and that is passive from Braum will stun them. But we see Gragas here rotating into the lane as well. But Corki going to finish him off with a rocket under tower. Not paying much attention. Ezreal getting hit right in the face, and we might see another one go down here from Corki as Thresh is running away and is out of range now.
I'd like to point out that that fight could have been very different if the Ashe ult did land. It narrowly missed.
Corki getting jumped on by the Gragas, forcing his summoner spell heal. No other allies are near him at the moment, although he is getting Corki very low. We do see the cast going down from Gragas to knock the allies away, but it won't be enough before he dies. And seeing some trading in the top lane as well between the Cho'Gath and Mordekaiser, but they're both sustaining quite a bit of health. Cho'Gath did use his feast right there, and he does get the kill, in fact. Once again, it may be a fault of connectivity issues, but we'll have to see how that pans out for the rest of the game and hope it gets better. Manning through all the connectivity issues, that still was his first death. And we are seeing Thresh get caught out here with the Braum's passive stunning him, and the kill actually will go to Braum. We see the same thing actually happening now as well to Ashe, trying to run through the gate, but the helicopter of Chaos Rain will rain hell on her. Red team forming up on the mid lane right now, waiting, seeing what they can do. Stealing the wolves and getting the smite for that the vision ghoul there, so they will not see them coming. They see that they're going to try to steal this at the moment as well. They did not manage to steal their own, or secure rather, their own blue buff there.
Yeah, it did go over to Lissandra, which will be a big advantage. Her skills can cost a lot of mana, but they do have cooldowns that are fairly low, and with this blue buff, they will be even lower.
Absolutely. As far as the item builds we're going for right now, it looks like Ashe might be going for a Zeke's Herald potentially. I'm not sure what else what she would be building with that Kindle Gem into. Unless it's going over my head, but that might be what we're going to be seeing there to synergize with her fellow ADC there on the Ezreal.
Actually, Kindle Gem does build into Black Cleaver now, I believe.
I see. Well, yeah, I guess I don't pay too much attention to the patch notes. We'll have to work on that. And for Ezreal, we are certainly going to see... or still potentially rather, but I'm hoping we're more than likely going to see that blue build come out with that Sheen going into Iceborne Gauntlet. He still could potentially go for the Trinity Force, of course, and that would be good synergy with all the AD that's going to be built up from his mirror mana, but I'm not sure how likely that is. Braum, his first item fully built at the moment, still not having boots. That's why he's been getting caught out, and even though he has only died once, but he did get caught out in the enemy jungle and had no chance to escape. He has picked up his Randuin's Omen, and on the other opposing side, we're seeing Thresh picking up a Locket of the Iron Stellari. There's still a potential for Banner of Command, but not likely. Dragon just now coming up. Both teams trying to contest this, getting a vision down. Red team getting the Scuttle Crab as we see Cho'Gath teleporting down to it as well to try to support them.
Mordekaiser also teleported down into the backline, landing her ulti directly onto Ashe, and Mordekaiser landing so much wrath onto Thresh and Ashe. Cho'Gath flashes over the wall as we see of the entire blue team be driven away from the dragon. Corki chases down, landed a Q and a rocket onto Gragas, but it will not be enough as he narrowly escapes with his life. Thresh hook onto Lissandra, she gets dropped low and goes down to the Ezreal as we see Corki land another rocket onto Cho'Gath, taking a kill. And we see a 2-for-1 going over to the red team as they also as the blue team picks up the Dragon Steel.
Very big fight. Red team up on kills right now and up on
Gragas
gold, but down
goes onto Braum, but I don't think he will get anything from it. He continues to chase down, landing the body slam, and will this last barrel secure it? Braum flashes away, but Gragas uses his W, and he backs away.
Corki running up onto Gragas here. They do have a pink ward seeing him. He spotted out and they know he's out of mana, but not going to try to contest him. He's an incredibly tanky character right now. That dragon, very vital for the blue team right now, slowly being outscaled, it seems like, with the red team actually having almost twice the amount of kills and a large gold lead. 4 dragons is a pretty massive lead for the blue team at the moment, however, and even though we did see them lose that team fight, they were kind of caught out and did get initiated on by that Lissandra going onto the Ashe, and just was mainly a factor of positioning, I feel, and we might still see some contesting for the rest of this game in blue team's hand.
We'll see the pink ward go down to Gragas. Lissandra tried to prevent it, but it could not happen. And a possible blue steal from Gragas right under the noses of the red team.
Chaos Rain on Wukong has already built a Last Whisper, which will be a very strong item, and we are seeing actually the Iceborne Gauntlet going out for Ezreal as well. That'll be a very nice item for them and just for the safety in general, but I'm not sure how well it's going to benefit them. We're still not really seeing what Ashe is going to build from that Kindle Gem. We always could see the old Zeke's Herald, but we'll have to see how that goes. She might be sitting on some gold at the moment. She actually is with 1.7k gold. Surely enough to finish, but I can't tell you the math on the spot. So, seeing the red team just roam around, going into their red side jungle here, roaming towards the bot lane, smelling at that Ezreal. Wukong walks over the pink ward, continues on. May not have noticed it, but still continued as his Braum did notice.
We will see a push from the red team going onto the bot lane. But no, it will be called off.
Braum looking like he's going to go for a Righteous Fury with that Catalyst the Protector and the Crystalline Bracer as well. A very strong item and help their initiations very greatly, in my opinion, and it will definitely benefit that Wukong above all else. And just running in, tackling the ADC or whichever target he chooses to, and ulting the entire enemy team. Gold lead slowly just increasing and increasing right now for the red team. It's nearly 6k gold right now for them, and they still are down 4 dragons, which does mean a lot, but the item-wise, we're still seeing it in their favor.
And they also are up 2 towers. But when that 5th dragon comes around, I wonder how it will play out, as dragon will be up in another 2 minutes, actually. And we could see another fight around that, possibly having it go over to the blue team.
You were correct about the Ashe building into the Black Cleaver. A good item to build. I'm not sure how it would stand against the other standards of the Fellowship of AD Ashe mid players, but as far as armor goes, it's really only going to be it will actually impact the Wukong's passive, which does give him armor for each enemy nearby him, as well as the Braum, who can give armor to anyone he chooses from his W. He's got the Randuin's Omen, but apart from Wukong and Braum, it's not really going to be a huge benefit. Lissandra does have her Zanya's Hourglass, but you have to keep in mind that the armor is only so much, and that she will be able to use it and obviously avoid a lot of damage as well.
See another big tower go down to the red team, actually bringing it to
trying to close in onto the Gragas. We see Graves rotating around as well from the Dragon Pit area. Ultimate going down onto Gragas as the Ashe arrow does hit Wukong from a distance, and we see them just pile driving over that Thresh.
Now, those champions will be up in time for the dragon, but the question is whether or not red team will go for it immediately or try to pressure a different lane with those death timers.
It's surprising how easily red team are getting these catches at this point into the game, considering all the vision potential that each team that blue team has right now. They do have the Sightstone on Thresh. It's usually not enough in itself, but the Ashe is rolling Clairvoyance, and it's just not making great use and effectiveness. Ezreal going to get opened on by the Wukong. He's going to flash away in Essence Flux, but Corki is sitting right behind him, and you just activated his trap card as he picks up the kill. Wukong picks up the kill, rather, but secures it.
And we will see another dragon fight as Gragas and the rest of his team approaches the Dragon Pit.
We are seeing Cho'Gath and the Ashe sitting around. We see Gragas and Thresh rolling in as well at the moment. No real damage going on. They're not sure if they want to commit to this or clear the wards out first. Thresh sitting nearby does have that Sightstone and 4 wards readily active. Braum gonna throw his ultimate down, but the red team backed out of the dragon.
Big damage coming out from Wukong onto the enemy Ashe, dropping her very low. We will see Gragas go into the pit, and the dragon once again go over to blue team.
Let's see if that helps them win this fight at all. We do see Ashe already down, and Braum very low on health, barely walking away here. Gragas gonna get hit with the Wukong and attacks from Corki, but it's just going to body slam over the wall.
While they do walk away with the 5th dragon, it will come at a cost as 2 of their members lose it off of themselves. And I do think that it is a big advantage to them, but I want to see how they will be able to push it.
Corki being caught in and attacked by this Gragas, thinking he's going to get his a free kill. Lissandra rolling up as well from the Cho'Gath after she just chased him and getting a lot of good damage onto them, but he's going to immediately flash out of that, not wanting to risk his dragon.
Wukong closing into the Gragas, but he will be body slam, but Gragas will body slam away. As
Rupture landing onto the Wukong. His ultimate is currently down, but we see Lissandra rotating as well. All of them going onto the dad here. Not enough damage from the Wukong Q, but we do see Ashe rotating as well, so giving them a nice slow for their allies to catch up. But we see Braum finally appearing full health with all the support he can give. The stun finally going down onto Cho'Gath and the kill being secured.
That will be a 2-for-1 for the red team, taking that dragon buff off of 2 more members, leaving it only on Ezreal. So while there are 5 dragons for the blue team, it does give them a lot of advantages in AD and tower pushing. They cannot seem to make anything from it with this constant pressure being applied to them from the Chaos Explosion of Fritos. Actually, yeah, Chaos Explosion of Fritos is the red team. Okay.
Correct, yes. Red team still up on gold, and actually 11k gold now with the lead. 0 dragons, as we all have just seen, and still showing that they don't need objectives. They have team fighting potential, they have power, and they're going at this rate to outscale your dad. That's just a poor wording.
It's kind of hard to say the sentence, I know.
Throw it in there. Mordekaiser getting jumped in on with the Ashe ultimate going down, perfectly aimed and knocking him out. Well, hopefully that's not a connectivity issue once again. I'll keep stressing it enough, but regardless, he does go down and the red team has to react.
It is really weird to say that they will scale up better than your dad. It's just the name.
Thresh going for a ward onto the Baron Pit in that ward bush up top, but he is going to get closed down. But the Gragas will throw down his cask and knock the enemies back.
Wukong jumping into the backline of the blue team, grinding down Ashe, taking out her and Thresh as he jumps onto Ezreal. That is a triple kill for Wukong. And Gragas will get away with a body slam as the blue buff goes over to the red team, and they are pinging on to Baron. Despite not having any dragons, it looks like they will grab this first Baron for themselves.
And we do see Cho'Gath actually sitting in the bot lane, still trying to take that tower. He is going to get it, in fact, but his team could have greatly used his help there. He's a massive brick wall in front of everyone who has a lot of potential for damage and pickoffs as well with that feast.
The Baron goes down to red team as they pick up the first Baron of the game. And without even a single dragon, they are still having decisive leads over the enemy.
We are seeing the blue build go down from Ezreal. He's actually on his last item, just picked up Last Whisper. That was available for the fight they just were encountered with, I believe. But yeah, now we're seeing the Vampiric Scepter.
Actually, he still has that Doran's. Still has that Doran's, which he can sell and build into a 6th item. Very long time to hold on to that Doran's blade.
Wukong actually, after picking up his Last Whisper, he's built up Black Cleaver since. He's actually full build right now, maybe going to upgrade those boots as a last option in a potion, or elixir rather. And at the moment he's actually got a Warmog's armor and Ashe being closed in on by the Braum and the Lissandra, seeing them both and going to flash away for safety.
Mid lane tower will go down to the red team as we see Wukong jump on into Thresh. He gets hooked, but his ultimate grind through. He flashes back on top of him, ease onto Gragas once again as Gragas is caught out by the red team, getting dropped low, and he's taken out by Wukong for the double kill. Jumping now, focusing on to Cho'Gath as Lissandra jumps onto Ashe, landing the ulti and a final Q to finish her off. And the kill on Cho'Gath will go over to Corki as we see the red team push into the enemy base. And this could be game.
It very well could be. At the moment, we're seeing a very incredibly strong build. Actually, 3 of the strongest combination of items. Literally, mathematically, it does not get higher. Maybe considering armor, it could be different, but Infinity Edge, Trinity Force, and Blade of the Rune King, the highest damaging combination in the game right now, and he's 7-0, showing his dominance, and he does not take crap from anyone. You're seeing it on the other hand, Wukong 16-3. Obviously, Chaos Reign is the highest ranking on their team and definitely showing his abilities as well. We're seeing top lane Mordekaiser going in onto Ezreal. We're not really seeing any attempts to disengage as well with that Iceborne Gauntlet. He just kind of walked it out and knew he was clear. Ezreal walking back all the way into that bush near his tier 2 tower as we see the 6th dragon appear, and red team looks like they are going to get this one. That percentage damage buff will do them great justice, especially at this point into the game.
Very large lead opening up for the red team here. They are 14,000.
Gragas being caught out at his red buff by Lissandra and Braum. Thresh and Ashe sitting in the bush. We see the Ezreal ultimate going down onto Lissandra. The Zanya's going by Lissandra to try to suppress some damage. So we see Gragas slowly going down, and this Lissandra ultimate going down onto Ashe. And we see them trying to chase the Cho'Gath, but he is very tanky and healthy at this point.
Now we will see the red team, 4 people pushing down onto the bottom lane inhibitor tower, and it will go down to them as they turn their sights on to the inhibitor. See them continue to push forward, attacking the Nexus towers. Wukong jumps onto Ezreal, lands an EQ combo, but it will not be enough to take him down as Cho'Gath approaches and attempts to drive them off of the towers. As the first Nexus tower goes down to the red team, and we see them move on to the second one. Slowly, ever so slowly, they're chipping away at Cho'Gath's health as Ezreal and Cho'Gath chip back at the red team. Summon a heal blown by Corki to get Braum out of there as the Ashe arrow will land onto Braum, blocked by the shield, with the Ezreal ulti also being blocked, and Braum will go down to the enemy Gragas as the only casualty of that, as we see minions
We're still seeing
take
super minions,
down.
yeah, pushing down. Ashe going to return,
tower.
not quite enough there yet, as the next wave is still just a siege minion and not a super minion. Chaos Reign gonna get caught out from the Thresh hook, and Gragas has definitely enough damage to take him out. He's almost sustaining enough life with that Ravenous Hydra actually to keep himself alive, but he will go down to Gragas.
Thresh flash blown there, so they will not have this in the last fight, as we see only one flash actually existing on the map currently with Corki. So many summoner spells down this match. We will see how it plays into the next fight.
I think one thing I want to definitely comment on through this match, the mid lane Ashe with KillerWarzoneX 0-9 at the moment. That's actually more deaths and, actually 2 more assists, to be fair, than their support Thresh. But it's very questionable looking at it that they both effectively went towards a blue build. The new Ashe rework greatly synergizes with attack speed and critical strike, and she actually hasn't gotten either of them yet, except for that one Zeal she's picked up very late into the game. The build especially very questionable, and it seems like she rushed the Black Cleaver kind of for her team and not so much for herself, in my opinion.
Once again, we have it confirmed that no matter who he plays, Chaos Reign will go absolutely bananas.
Yep, you should basically just try and ban out every champion with a stealth, because that's what this man plays.
We will see them focusing down onto the Nexus. Chaos jumps into the middle of the enemy team, ulting, knocking up, and killing Ezreal almost immediately as Corki's auto attacks comes down, and we see the Gragas ulti blow them away as Thresh and Cho'Gath go down to the Corki and the Mordekaiser, and this will be game. GG to your dad as Chaos Explosion of Fritos walks away with the win in this first game of round 2.
Very close game. Not really a very close game. It started off fairly close, but towards the mid lane and late game sections, we definitely saw red team advancing and snowballing into their favor. I think that Ashe mid was certainly a questionable decision. It could work, but I want to work on that execution there because 0-9, showing almost the same exact results as the support in this case. But congratulations to Chaos Explosion of Fritos going on to round 3. They will have to wait for their next contestant. Actually, no, they will not have to wait for the next contestant. Their next contestant is going to be a previous match we saw yesterday, Crazed Hydrodong. And we will see your dad going into the loser bracket for the first round. They're not out of it yet, so look forward to them in the future as we're going to see another